What is up, Nuggets? It's your boy, Killer Pizza, here with a brand new video for you rascals and rapscallions out there. As always, I hope you guys are having a great weekend, watching some spooky movies, but if you have not, don't worry, I got you covered, because I have 5 horror movies I want you to own on Blu-ray. Now, this is kind of a series I've done before. I'm not sure what volume this is as at the time of recording, but pretty much I just scan my shelf and find 5 maybe obscure movies, or even 5 movies that aren't as obscure that I think maybe some people haven't seen that you should check out. But anyways, with that being said, let's hop right into it. Now, first up, I might have mentioned this one before in one of these videos, but this is the video that this is the movie that started it all for this channel, and that is Street Trash. Pretty much in a nutshell, the reason I started this channel was I started collecting again, and I watched this for the first time, and it was so crazy to me. I wanted to talk to somebody about it, but I couldn't think of anybody off the top of my head that would be interested in this type of movie. It was just so fucking crazy. So, pretty much it's about these hobos, all these hobos in this town, and they're all bumming around trying to get all, you know, juiced up and drunk and whatnot. And this liquor store owner finds like this crate of old dusty liquor bottles, and he sells them for $1 a piece. And what happens is the liquor ends up like transforming these bodies and making them completely melt. This is a complete body horror movie. It's absolutely disgusting. But to be honest, it's shot pretty good. It's pretty fun. And the main character is likable enough. It's very fucking weird. They have a scene where a guy gets his dick chopped off and they throw it around like a football and everything. But this is pretty much for the gore right here. You can see on the back a little bit. It's an absolutely nasty movie that you have to check out for yourself if you're into practical effects. Some of the funnest practical effects, the way they melt all yellow and blue and whatever. It's some nasty stuff, but it's hard to explain how weird this movie is. Pretty much this bums have to fight against like the super bum, you know, the evilest hobo of them all and everything. And it's a strange movie. You just got to check it out for yourself. Next up, we have an anthology film, one of my favorites. I don't think it's talked about that much, and that is Body Bags. Now, this was originally supposed to be like a new Tales from the Crypt, which a fun part about it is the Crypt Keeper right here is actually played by John Carpenter in the movie, who introduces each film. He's like a dead cadaver inside a morgue or whatever. But there's 3 very fun skits in here, segments, directed by John Carpenter and Tobe Hooper. My favorite one being the one with the girl late night at the gas station when like some killer escapes. I think Ted Raimi was in this one, or am I just tripping right now? But it's kind of just a fun cat and mouse game where she's trying to escape. She's in one of those little gas station booths where you lock the door and there's like an auto shop next door. And it's just a really good skit with tension and everything. There's a weird one with a guy whose hair won't stop growing, and an ex-baseball player played by Luke Skywalker, whatever his name was. I'm not a big fan. Mark Hamill. So that one's pretty interesting. But I think this is a pretty good anthology that at times gets swept under the rug, under the radar. Very fun stuff right here. I wish it would have gotten picked up as a show. It would have been fun to see John Carpenter as the Crypt Keeper. All right, next is one I guarantee everybody's heard of. This was my favorite horror movie that came out this year. I'm very skeptical of newer horror movies, but I believe this is A24, which you can't go wrong there. That is the 4K of Talk to Me, which you don't necessarily have to get the 4K. I picked it up. This movie was like nothing I'd ever seen before. I believe it was like an Australian horror movie or whatnot, but it was just an original take for once in an era where it's nothing but remakes over and over again. It's pretty much they find like this evil hand and they bring it out at party games, and it takes you like into this different world in a way where it almost possesses you, like it like freezes your body and locks you up, and then they can bring you right back right in time. But it's like they want to get you right before it's too late, so it's almost played off as like a drug. And this has one of the goriest scenes with like I think the little brother, not to give it away, when he gets like his head bashed in the walls in the hospital and everything. It is some nasty stuff with some good gore. The second half gets a little wild and whatnot, but if it's got a little bit for everybody in that regard. Talk to Me was one of the most original movies I've seen in a very, very long time. Shot well, done good, casted well, good gore. Can't say enough about this. In fact, I think I'm going to have to go back and revisit this sometime soon myself. Now, one I pretty much guarantee nobody's heard of, because I seen on a Facebook page people were talking about Killer Kid movies, Children of the Corn, stuff like that. This is a Spanish film called Who Can Kill a Child? Now, this one is very extreme. Not for everyone. A 70s Spanish movie where this couple goes on a retreat to this like remote island where it's kind of like Children of the Corn plot where there's no parents around or anything. and these kids end up coming after him and killing him. But it's just pretty much Children of the Corn, but turned all the way the fuck up, where these kids are literally killing people and they're showing it. And there's actually like a shootout between the man and all the kids. Not saying that's like anything like I'm going out of my way to watch, but if you're in the weeds that much with watching so many horror movies, eventually you need to fucking see how far they're going to take in some of these movies. And this one really pushes the limits, and it's shocking. And to be quite honest, has one of the most badass twist endings at the very end of it. And I love this movie. Very underrated, definitely more on the exploitation side, but nonetheless something you got to see to believe. This movie is crazy. And last but not least is one I want to make a whole video about, and that is one of my favorite movies I watched growing up, Dolls. This is from the Arrow release. I actually still have the Scream Factory one that went out of print. I actually picked this up right when I first started recollecting and whatnot, but I wanted to kind of put the set over. Anyways, if you don't have this, this is the Empire Video, Enter the Video Store box set, which has Dungeon Master, Dolls, Cellar Dweller, Arena, and Robot Jox. Now, this is the slimmer version right here. I didn't watch all these movies, but I will say I watched a couple. Arena was absolutely incredible. It's pretty much like Bloodsport in space, and it stars the guy who played the jock in the raft from Creepshow, calling him, "Hey, what's up, Pancho?" And the effects in this are actually pretty cool and everything. I really liked it a lot. And I also checked out Cellar Dweller. That isn't too bad. It's got a really fun story of this girl that goes like this cabin, like art school retreat, and she's trying to be like a comic book writer to take after her idol, and all the monsters, the beasts end up like coming to life off the page and everything. So that was a lot of fun. I want to suggest picking up this whole set to begin with. But the one I'm talking about is Dolls. I grew up watching this movie. This is an absolute classic. It's only, I believe, 75, 80 minutes, so it's a short runtime, but I will say this is the best fairy tale horror movie you'll ever see. This family gets stranded on the side of the road, and they go into this mansion they break in that's run by these doll makers, this old couple, and it's pretty much all these terrible characters. The stepmom's a bitch, the dad's an asshole, the little girl's nice, and she ends up like making a friend with this older gentleman that comes in with these two younger girls they're hitchhiking to. And it's just a fun movie. It's like these dolls don't really kill anybody that are good. They're only going after the evil. And it's got this like fairy tale glee to it, where it's got this message in the end of everything of just like you have to keep your heart pure and keep it childlike and everything. And the dolls, you know, the effects in this, I heard it was supposed to be a lot more gory back in the day, but the way they pull this off is so good, and I just can't describe it any better than just like the perfect fairy tale story of a horror movie. You know, these dolls all come into life. They have all like these past guests, like souls inside of them and everything. It's a complete trip. Just the right amount of gore. Just a great movie. Yeah, I highly suggest checking this out. This is one I guarantee you could probably find on Tubi. But like I said, pick up this Empire set if you can grab it. This is very good. Easy for me to say. So those are the ones I suggest you pick up or watch on Blu-ray. Street Trash, Body Bags, Talk to Me, Who Can Kill a Child, and Dolls. If you guys have seen any of these movies before, let me know in the comment section. Once again, if there's any movies you suggest me checking out, let me know. If you check any of these out, please let me know what you think. Other than that, Blood, Guts, Gore. I'll check you guys next time.